Ever wonder why your local coffee shop seems to know your order by heart? Or how your favorite airline just gets you? Well, there's a hidden blueprint behind all of that. And believe it or not, it's over 2 decades old. Today, we're diving into customer relationship management, or CRM, and we're going to unpack the foundational framework that completely changed how businesses think about, well, you. This whole revolution, it really boils down to one simple but powerful question. For what felt like forever, marketing was completely obsessed with one thing: getting new people through the door. But what if that was the wrong goal the entire time? And boom, here's the data that just blew that old thinking to pieces. Check out this McKinsey study from back in 1999. A 10% bump in getting customers to come back, that's a huge 9.5% boost to the company's value. Just keeping 10% more of your customers from leaving, still a massive 6.7% lift. Now look at the old obsession, getting new people for cheaper. A measly 0.7% bump. I mean, the message here couldn't be any clearer. So yeah, this data was a wake-up call. It forced a gigantic shift in strategy. The whole game changed from this constant, super expensive hunt for new faces to a much more profitable focus on keeping the customers you already have happy. And that simple idea, that's the beating heart of customer relationship management. All right, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to start with the why behind this whole retention revolution. Then we'll walk through the actual blueprint step by step. We'll see how companies use it to find their best customers, and then explore the tricks they use to keep them. And finally, we'll zoom out and look at the big picture, the challenges that are honestly still a huge deal today. So let's dive right into our first section, the retention revolution. This is where we really follow the money and understand the cold, hard logic that made companies totally rethink everything. And if you need one quote to understand the stakes, this is it. Just a tiny 5% increase in keeping your customers could boost the future profit from those customers by up to 95%. I mean, we're not talking about a small change here. This is a complete game changer. It proved that customer loyalty wasn't just some fuzzy, nice-to-have feeling. No, it was a massive financial lever you could pull. This new financial reality, it forced a complete mindset shift. You see, the old way on the left was all about shouting at a crowd with mass ads, dangling a cheap price, and just focusing on that one sale. The new retention mindset, over on the right, it's about having a real conversation, building an actual relationship, and thinking about the total value a customer brings over their entire life. It's the difference between a megaphone and a handshake. Which brings us to section 2. Okay, so we get the why, but how do you actually do it? I mean, knowing you should focus on keeping customers is one thing, but having a plan is another. This is where the blueprint comes in, offering a clear step-by-step guide. And here it is. You can think of it like a flywheel that's always spinning. It all kicks off with building a customer database. Then you slice and dice that data to find insights. Based on that, you pick out your most valuable customers and target them specifically. Then you build real relationships with those people. And finally, you have to deal with the super important stuff like privacy and tracking your success, which then feeds right back into the database to make it smarter. It's a full circle. And let me tell you, that first step, the database, is everything. This isn't just your email list, folks. We're talking about a complete record of every single purchase, every phone call, every service request. You add in key info about who they are, and maybe most importantly, you track how they've responded to your marketing in the past. This database is the fuel for the entire engine. So once you have all that incredible data, what do you do with it? Well, that brings us right to section 3, finding your best customers. This is where companies could finally stop yelling at vague averages and start talking to specific, high-value people. The secret weapon here is a metric called lifetime customer value, or LCV. This isn't about how much someone spent today. It's a prediction of the total profit you'll make from that one person over your entire relationship, minus what it costs to keep them around. It's all about seeing customers as a long-term asset, not just a one-off paycheck. And when you start calculating LCV, you almost always discover something wild: the 80-20 rule. It turns out that a massive chunk of a company's profits, like 80%, often comes from a really small group of customers, maybe just 20%. LCV is the magic wand that lets you figure out exactly who is in that super important 20%. Now, this is where it gets a little controversial. This kind of analysis leads to some tough decisions. The source paper talked about how companies like AT&T would use this data to give their top customers amazing, personalized hot towel service, while the less profitable ones, well, they got the automated phone menu. FedEx even started charging more to customers who were expensive to serve. It sounds a bit cutthroat, right? But the logic is to focus your absolute best resources on the customers who are actually keeping your business afloat. Okay, so you've found your VIPs. The million-dollar question is, how do you keep them coming back? Let's jump into Section 4, the art and science of actually building those lasting relationships. So, what's in the toolbox? Well, the framework lays out 5 key programs. It's not just one thing. It's this whole mix of having fantastic customer service, creating loyalty programs that feel valuable, customizing things just for them, offering cool rewards, and even building a community where they feel like they belong. And one tool in particular was an absolute game changer. Email, but not spammy email, email that people actually signed up for. I mean, look at this data from the year 2000. It's just staggering. The cost to make a sale with old school direct mail, $71. A sale from an email sent to your own list of willing customers, $2. $2. I mean, with numbers like that, it was an absolute no-brainer why personalized email became the cornerstone of CRM. All right, for our final section, let's zoom out to the big picture. Because this framework wasn't just a simple how-to guide, it was also incredibly forward-thinking, pointing out the long-term challenges and what this new world would look like. And the biggest challenge then and now is privacy. This whole system runs on customer data, right? The paper perfectly laid out the central debate we're still having today. Should data collection be opt-in, where you have to actively say yes, giving you control? Or should it be opt-out, where they collect it by default unless you hunt down the button to say no, which gives marketers way more data? This tension is at the absolute core of everything. You know, when you change the game, you need a new scoreboard. Success wasn't just about market share anymore. It became about these new customer-focused numbers. How much does it cost to get a customer? What's your retention rate? And my favorite, share of wallet, which is basically what percentage of a person's spending in one category, say coffee, goes to your company. The focus literally shifted from the entire market to one person's wallet. And this part is just so cool. Back in 2001, the paper predicted that for this to really work, the very structure of big companies would have to change. It actually envisioned a brand new executive job, the Chief Customer Officer, or CCO, someone whose only job is to be the voice of the customer in those high-level meetings. And guess what? That prediction absolutely came true. So as we wrap up, just think about it for a second. That loyalty program you're in, those personalized offers you get in your email, every single one of those things is a direct result of this very blueprint we've been talking about. The next time a company gives you that little bit of extra special service, you'll know exactly why. So how does this 2-decade-old framework show up in your life every day? It's a powerful new way to see the business world all around you. Thanks for diving in with me.